I always think of your brain rattling around your head like a little pile of hamburger meat. It's just getting squished and squished like in somebody's palm of their hands. You say, where is this going? Let me tell you. I want to give you some radically countercultural life advice for your future that I have learned through interviewing incredible experts, psychologists, psychoanalysts, and mothers on the Spillover podcast. I am not yet in a season of life to be a wife or a mother, but that is exactly why I am equipping myself for it today. Do you ever think about how to nurture your body to prepare for motherhood, how your period affects your workflow, how you want to raise your future children, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, or how to financially contribute to the family? If you answered no to any of those questions, then listen up, because that season is coming up faster than you think, and you should be answering yes. Blinded by our emotions and what is considered socially normal, we have let corporatism make an industry out of every facet of womanhood that capitalizes on our ignorance. Women can't have it all, at least not at the same time. Choosing a career, choosing to be a stay-at-home mom, or choosing to do both is rarely an easy decision. Women have to understand that each path requires some sacrifice, and this is something that my generation has not become accustomed to. Each one of these lifestyle choices comes with external circumstances that we have to consider, like how they will impact finances, personal relationships, and even our physical health in some cases. On top of that, you're not the only person affected. Your family members, husband, and children are all factors in these decisions. You say, well, I'm not married yet, Alex. Once I have kids, I'll decide then if I want to work or stay home. Avoid making this mistake. Plan for it now. Even if you don't realize it, that train of thought has been normalized by our culture. From the get-go, we imagine life living off two incomes. But the thing is, most women know from a young age that they do want to be a mom one day. And yet, no one, not friends, family, guidance counselors in school, help talk us through how different career paths are better suited for motherhood than others. This is unpolitically correct to bring up. Instead, women are encouraged to go to college, rack up student loan debt that will take years to pay back, and then get a super intense, high-powered, stressful career. 5 to 10 years later, if they decide that they want to have a family, they now have to navigate a crippling 12-hour workday on average, never see their kids, and honestly ask themselves, well, how can I quit my job now? I have invested so much of myself into it. Or they say, well, how can I quit? We can't survive to live off one income. They feel stuck. This is the question that millions of American women are facing at my age, okay? I'm 30. Every single one of my friends went to college, every single one of them is now a mom, and every single one of them had to have a painful conversation with their husbands about going down to part-time or quitting altogether because their kids needed them. A lot of their husbands straight up said no because they, one, don't believe they can afford to live off of one income, and two, do not understand the scientifically proven benefits that stay-at-home moms have on children in the early years especially. Three, they don't even know that women biologically were not designed for a 9-to-5 grind. Now, that doesn't mean that women can't work.
Stop.
It means that the majority of us can become shells on that type of schedule. Shells of the woman that your man fell in love with because they're trying to accomplish both a full-time job and motherhood. Because our bodies and minds were not designed to handle it, at least easily. A baby biologically and scientifically needs their mother in those first 3 years at all hours of the day because she is crucial for healthy development and attachment style. This relationship between mother and child will affect how your kid will pursue and handle platonic and romantic relationships for the rest of their life. And men need to hear this. Choose a company, a career field, and a job that allows mothers to stay home and raise children when the time is right. This is is advice that the experts and mothers that I interview wish someone would have given them when they were 18 to 22 years old. Did you see that viral TikTok of that girl crying about working 9 to 5?
This is my first job, like my first 9 to 5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me forever to get there. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like, I literally get off, it's pitch black. Like, I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like, how do you have time to, like, dating? Like, I don't have time for anything, and I'm, like, so stressed out.
Some conservatives roasted her for that. They told her, grow up, that's life. But I think those conservatives got it wrong, and I've talked about this before. Entering the workforce today is a brutal reality check for college graduates. Men and women both think that they're going to be graduating college, they're going to be making 6 figures easy within the first 5 years. This could not be more of an anomaly. And this reality check is important for men to plan and for women to manage their expectations. The average salary in America for men is $61,000 in 2023. Your total take-home income will likely be under 6 figures when you get married, but it is possible to stay home with kids on that. I'm not saying that it's gonna be glamorous. It will be hard and it will be unluxurious, at least for a short amount of time. It is your decision with your husband to determine if that is going to be worth it. Millennials and Gen Z have been indoctrinated to think that life is impossible unless you have 2 working parents. They don't get that our entire lives have been molded under the umbrella of convenience and that most of us have not had an example of how to do it growing up. The reality is, many conservative millennials in the last couple years have seen the light. We have done the popular way for so long, and we have seen how burnt out families have become. Kids are misbehaving, marriages are struggling, distance has been growing between parents and children. You've got to put pen to paper. There's gonna have to be a sacrifice somewhere. It's choosing the lesser of 2 evils. The other massive key to women's happiness, marital peace, harmonious relationships, and flourishing in all aspects of life is to understand a woman's menstrual cycle and learn how it affects her. Do you know what happens to us mentally and physically 4 times a month? That's right, not once a month. 4 times a month. You think, okay, well, my girlfriend is moody. Honey, we are 4 different people throughout the course of 30 days. You will hack your relationship and life if you know your woman's cycle. And by the way, a lot of period tracking apps for girls have a feature where you can share your cycle with your significant other. So he can literally see where you're at on your cycle and when your period is about to start. Hello! This is awesome! And it's because of our period that we know unequivocally that the majority of women are not made for a 9 to 5. You say, so woman shouldn't work? No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that women can work smarter by mapping out her to-do list, her priorities, challenging tasks in sync with her cycle. If we ask women to fight their body's natural rhythm, their health and their hormones will suffer. A system that expects us to perform at the same capacity as a man month-round at home or the workplace is inherently anti-woman. It's normal and natural for women to feel tired or burn out on certain days of the month. Great news, there's nothing wrong with you. We are supposed to live in alignment with our inherent nature, which is another reason the 9 to 5 corporate grind and birth control sucks for women. Birth control numbs you, takes away your period, and then you lose all the vital signs that your body tells you. Because on birth control, you don't have a period. You have a withdrawal bleed. That's a fake period. You're cutting off one of the biggest communication systems that women's bodies have with their brains that alerts them when things are wrong hormonally. Women's hormones restart on a 28-day cycle. Men's hormones restart in a 24-hour cycle. You're like, well, how can he get over a fight so easily? Because it only takes him 24 hours. It takes us 30 days. We've got 4 phases that determine our mood, our energy, how physically active and sexually active we want to be, how sensitive we are, and even how attractive we are. Ladies, do you have a few days where you look in the mirror and you think, oh my gosh, like I look kind of really pretty today out of nowhere, like this jawline is popping? Or you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my gosh, I look horrible. Yeah, Our faces change slightly on certain weeks, so you should plan photo shoots and big events around that. The 28-day cycle starts with the period, okay? That's the menstrual phase. This is when your hormones are at your lowest as a woman. Don't make plans during this time. Seriously, stay home. You have my permission to cancel plans, watch movies, snuggle, rest. You are so tired. Your body is in hibernation mode. It's sleepy time tea. The next phase is the follicular phase. This is the time between your period and ovulation. Think of this as your inner spring. Energy is coming back. Your creativity is at its highest. This is when you are the happiest. This is a great time to make plans, be social, give a presentation at work, and ask for the raise. This is when you want to have sex, and it's the stage where your body is ready to make a baby, even if you aren't. So we really need to respect that our bodies are in that mode. Men, understand your woman's hormones. Use this information to your advantage in your marriage. This is also the only 6 days during a woman's cycle that she is fertile and can get pregnant. If you know this and you track it, you can naturally avoid getting pregnant. Now, do you see what I'm saying? The ovulation stage is your inner summer. You are your hottest. Enjoy it. The last phase is the luteal phase, inner fall. It is the longest phase of your cycle, and your metabolism increases by 10%. In the first half, you're coming off that ovulation high. In the second half, your hormones take a huge dip. Your mood starts to change, because that's when, 1 minute you're happy, the next you're like the devil, and he's going, what the heck happened? You were fine yesterday. Now that you understand your cycle, notice how anti-woman and anti-family it is to encourage a girl to enter a profession that requires her to work as hard as a man does in a very rigid or very stressful atmosphere and expect her to perform the same. Some women will push through that. They might even thrive in an environment like that. That is really up to you as an individual. What I don't like is that those who don't thrive in that don't enjoy it or want it, are judged as dramatic or lazy or less than a career-focused woman. The crazy thing is being a stay-at-home mom is arguably even harder and more demanding than office work, but it is the type of work and who you're pouring into that can really help a woman feel more fulfilled. And if your spouse understands you biologically and how God made you, now he's able to support you differently throughout the month in ways that will make you feel happy, loved, supported, and wanted. As a culture, God designed our bodies to fluctuate. Find out as a man how you can protect your woman and make sure that she doesn't have to stress her body out like this. The working world just wasn't built for women. It was built for men. Not politically correct to say, but it is true to say. Am I saying that women shouldn't work? No. I am saying that men and women should recognize women work differently. Again, women can have it all, but not at the same time. If you try to do it at the same time, something will suffer. It's a matter of, will it be work or family? And certainly you, who will feel stretched too thin. Choose a career that allows you to step away to raise kids and return once they are older, or one that allows part-time or remote work from home. Some women have told me that they work weekends so that their husband is home on those days with the kids, and then they're home with the kids the other days of the week when he's working. We've got to be creative. We have to plan. Just be mindful to love and fight for truth over our ambitions. It will make us all better as women, men, mothers, and fathers. Women were told that it's degrading to stay home and serve our husbands and children, but that it's empowering to serve a man and a corporation that we don't know personally, don't have kids with, that aren't legally and biblically bound to us, that can terminate us at any moment. We can either repeat or repair unhealthy generational patterns. The time to learn everything you can about parenting, birth, budgeting, and even cooking is when you are single. Both men and women should understand how hormones work for the different sexes. Don't wait until you're pregnant to learn about optimizing your health for growing a baby. Don't wait until you're pregnant to figure out what you're gonna do about your job. Do all of that now. Your future self will thank you. Again, is this countercultural advice? You better believe it. Is this what you're gonna hear other people say that you should do in your 20s? Nope. They're gonna say, work now, party, enjoy yourself, and then your family later. Big mistake. Plan ahead after you graduate. If you even go to college, it's okay if you don't. Remain teachable. Look for mentors and godly married Christian couples you admire and aspire to be like, or maybe consider moving to be closer to either you or your spouse's extended family to help with raising kids. Have conversations when you're dating about being a working versus stay-at-home mom and financial expectations for your future family. Respect femininity, masculinity, and what makes us so unique as genders. America would be better off. Thank you.